It's always a special day when the Blue Tigresses take the field, and today they are in action for the first and the last time in this FIFA International Women's Friendly. It's their last game of 2024, and the Indian side takes on the Maldives live from the Padukun Dravid Center for Sports Excellence in Bengaluru. Let's take a look at the dressing rooms. The famous blue jersey, which will be donned by 11 and more of the Indian players. A few new names as well in the squad. As we'll take a look at the lineups shortly. This is them arriving a few moments before. A stacked lineup with a few new names as well. Senior debuts for a few players. And this Indian side coming into this one on the back of a pretty disappointing SAF Championships where they lost via a penalty shootout to the Nepal side. That was a 1-1 draw, but now they will be looking to finish off on a high in 2024. It's a new horizon as today Joachim Alex Anderson takes charge of this talented Indian side as well in one of two friendlies against the Maldives team. Excitement's always very high.
Yeah, I'm feeling great, thank you. We have 4 or 5 days like to prepare for this game, so yeah, I get to know the players for 4 or 5 days, and yeah, I think it's a good feeling. Yeah, I expect that that we are gonna play a little bit like the way that we have been practicing for those 4 or 5 days. So that's what I'm expecting. I seen them not too much, but yeah.
And on the other hand, the Maldives side arriving here at Bengaluru, a couple of friendlies as they take on the Indian side. They haven't been in the best of form, winless.
Thank you very much, the Indian Federation and also the people of Bengaluru. Regarding our preparation, I would say that we were preparing since we returned from the SAF Championship. The team was continuously training, but it has been on just about.
And goalkeeper, Mr. M. Kumar, KSFA General Secretary.
So here we are as the dignitaries meet the players. Dignitaries include Mr. Vimal Kumar, Dronacharya Award winner and Asian Games bronze medalist. Mr. Vivek Kumar, founder and promoter of the Padukun Dravid Center for Sports Excellence. Chitra Gangadharan, former India captain and goalkeeper, and Mr. M. Kumar from the KSFA, the General Secretary there. India, of course, in the blue, Maldives in the red, as we have the national anthems.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise if you're able for the national anthem of India.
immense pride running through the veins of all the players involved and everybody involved as we prepare for the first of the two FIFA Women's International Friendlies between India and the Maldives side. Referee Kanika Barman and her side are ready, assisted by Ujjal Haldar and Dipesh Sawant. Fourth official is Ranjita Tekcham. They will be overseeing the proceedings. Quick team pictures as well for both the sides, as we will take you through the lineups shortly.
Go to your position.
Dagmar Grace leading the Indian side today, and Hawa Hanifa leading the Maldives team. There are officials. Kanika Barman will be in charge. Maria Rebello, the referee assessor, and Arunava Bhattacharya, the match commissioner. As these two sides kick off for the last time in what has been an eventful 2024. What might have been in the SAF Championships can now be put behind as the Indian side looks ahead under head coach Joachim Alexanderson. This is the starting 11. Maimam Devi in between the sticks, Sangeeta, Sanju, Linda Kom, Pyari Zaza, Dangmai Grace, the skipper, Neetu Linda, Ranjana Chanu, Julie Kishan, Aruna Bagh and Neha. Senior debuts for Linda Kom, Neetu Linda and Neha. And on the bench, lots of options in the form of Juhi, Vikshit, Thabisana, Chanu, Simran Guru, Sibani Devi, Seram in between the sticks if she needs to come on, Rimpa Haldar, Pooja, Ranking Diem, Shivani Topo and Kajol D'Souza. And for the Maldives, Aminat Liza in between the sticks. There's Afza, Noora, Shafa, Ravina, the skipper, Hanifa, Faiha, Rifa, Rania, Maisha and Fazla. Lots of options on the bench as well, including the likes of Altaf Mohammad, Fatima Chahuma, Inisha Adam as well. And I'm sure we will see quite a bit of squad rotation from both the coaches. We also heard from Mohammad Nizam before the game. We'll have a moment of silence as well. So that moment of silence with respect to Dr. Manmohan Singh, we mourn the loss of. And as we kick off, I'd like to introduce my co-commentator for today, Mr. Rohit Ganguly. Welcome, Rohit.
Thank you so much, Liam, and a very good afternoon to all the viewers as we are live from the Silicon Valley of India. Both the teams, as you very nicely encapsulated, that both the teams will be duking out the last fixture of the calendar year. For the Blue Tigresses, it's a massive test, and here they start attacking on your screens from the left to the right, dressed in their signature blue, and kicking right now from the right to the left, dressed in their signature reds. The women hailing all the way from the Maldives. Well, both the teams, they have had a bit of tough time coming into this fixture. If you take a look at the last 5 fixtures for both the teams, India has just managed to sneak one victory, a couple of draws, yes, but then not too promising either, considering the lofty standards that is being pinned upon the backs of the Indian women. And for Maldives, I think it has been an even more shambolic showdown because 5 matches, 5 defeats, but more importantly, the number of goals that they have conceded in the last 5 matches. I mean, that isn't the best of numbers that you would be talking about. India on an early attack, and it's from the right, delivers the ball into the box there, and a desperate attempt to try and keep that in play. However, that's crossed the bounds before the Indian players could reach out, and that's going to be a goal kick in favor of Maldives. Liam, a quick question for you as we are starting the game, just 1 minute into it. The absence of Asha Lata Devi, how do you think is it going to impact the Indian side, or is it just going to be a test of all the players who are available, and possibly this is a massive opportunity for them as well to showcase themselves?
Or absolutely, it goes without saying, the likes of Asharata Devi, who's played over 100 caps for the Indian side, not having her around will definitely be a big miss. But there are other experienced players in the ranks who will have to take control of the situation. The likes of Dangmai Grace, who's got the captain's armband today. Here she is down the right-hand side, actually looking for a cross-in. Decent delivery. It has struck one of the Maldives players. I think it's Hanifa who's gone down. Might need a bit of treatment. An early knock to the head. It's Ravina actually who's gone down. Should be okay in a while. And yes, it is a chance for a lot of the younger players to get a look in. Always a moment of pride when you don the senior national team colours. Linda Com, Neetu Linda and Neha proving themselves on the state circuit and also the club circuit, and now getting a chance to start up in this particular fixture.
Yeah, a couple of names that I'll be really intrigued to see taking the yard. I mean, they are on the bench. One of them is definitely Rimpa Haldar. We'll get back to that. A quick look at the results of India's last 5 games. We're talking about that. 3 defeats, in fact. They've lost to Nepal in the tiebreaker, the semi-finals of the SAF Championship, and even got defeated by Bangladesh 3-1 in their last group stage fixture. They did well to thump Pakistan 5-2, but then once again drew against Myanmar and in fact lost one against them as well. So yes, it's not that the consistency has been right at the top for Team India. So obviously they'll have to batten up their hatches, they'll have to rally themselves, and there are a few young names that we were talking about, new blood in the team. So I think every one of them, they'd be hoping to possibly put up a very strong, a very resilient show. India comes in from the left, hoping to get that cross in the mix out there, and a lovely chance going for the near post itself, and it would have been an electric finish. In fact, looks like the captain Dangmei Grace, she had a very acute angle at her BS and she wanted to exploit that good opportunity, but somehow didn't go in. It was a tough call in the
very good cross in, and Lisa, the keeper, doing just about enough, getting a touch on it. It stopped right on the goal line. India coming very close as we take a look at the Maldives and their last 5 games, losing by huge margins to the likes of Bhutan and Nepal, Pakistan and India as well. Another cross comes in, and somehow the Maldives side managed to negotiate that. A better performance from them in between those 5 games against Sri Lanka, as they lost only 1-0. As we see this cross coming in once again, just about did enough there. And they, in fact, won their last game, did the Maldives, versus Sri Lanka back in 2019. So it's been a while. And we speak about the Indian side trying to turn over a new leaf. Maldives will be trying to do that as well. And they'll want to start with that today. But so far, it's been a pretty poor start for them. 5 minutes in, it's all about the Indian side with a lot of possession, a bit of a turn here, but again down the right hand side, Sanju plays it backwards. Grace, back to Sanju, looks for another delivery. And well negotiated this time round by the skipper Hanifa. It will be a corner.
Well, the right wing, it has already been a buzzing live wire. The Blue Tigresses, they have been leaping on it with intensity and urgency, hoping to find the back of the net early enough, hoping to draw first blood. And this one, Dangmei Grace, she'll be looking forward to make the most out of this in the lovely corner. And what a sensational save out there from Lisa under the sticks. And India, they are pulling the trigger time and time again. India firing those warning shots. And that was possibly one of the best chances. What a lovely corner from the captain, Dangmei Grace, living up to the expectations when you're stepping in the boots of the one and only Asha Lata Devi. You need to come up with something lovely. And that is the opening goal for the Blue Tigresses. A sensational cross from the right. And who else than Pyari Zaza? Scintillating, sparkling, bedazzling, poking the ball into the back of the net, propelling the Blue Tigresses up front in this friendly fixture.
What a wonderful move down the right-hand side for Belinda Com and Pyari Zaza. She is in red-hot form. She is not going to miss from there. 12 goals in the Senior National Women's Football Championships coming into this one with her Odisha side, and of course hitting the back of the net in blue colours once again. Pyari Zaza. If there's anybody you would want on the end of that cross, it is her. And the Indian side, as expected, taking an early lead. Now looking to double it very quickly. Another cross from the left-hand side this time. Myanmar not being able to take a shot. Clearance there, the Maldives side rather. And then it's Pyari Zaza once again. The floodgates have opened already. In quick succession, for a second it looked like the Maldives had cleared, but Zaza with the second.
Jersey number 10, Pyari Zaza.
They say one brings the other, and Team India has made the most out of this statement. We know that the defense has been a major concern for Maldives, conceding 39 goals from the last 5 matches. However, with that being said, India, knowing that well enough, knowing the fact that there aren't just defensive chinks but crevasses in the Maldives armour, they ensured the fact that they are going for Pyari Zaza in the centre. Ideally, Pyari Zaza, she would come up from the wings. But with Dangmei Grace already present out there and Neha as well been given a chance on that left wing, I think it was the right call coming from Joachim Alexanderson to deploy Pyari Zaza in the centre. And what a start this has been for India. 8 minutes on the clock, 2 phenomenal goals, and both of them coming from Pyari Zaza. Absolutely sensational stuff. And more importantly, I think I'm really impressed, Liam, with the early wing play that India has deployed. I think India could have been 3-0 up where Dangmei Grace went for that near post, kind of trying to use that acute angle to her advantage. But nonetheless, I think Pyari Zaza, she's made up for it, not with 1, but with 2 goals. And right now, from the right wing, we have already seen chances being created. Now India is trying to involve the left wing as well. I think that is very good football. That is a very attacking brand of football that India is kind of banking themselves upon. And as we said this before, Liam, I think new faces coming in, a couple of senior debuts for youngsters, and there are still a few names on the bench as well whom we would love to see in the mix. Another cross comes floating in. Could it be the hat trick? Is it? In fact, it wasn't Pyari Zaza, but could have been the 3rd goal for sure. Dangmei Grace, she would be slightly disappointed that with the fact that the ball didn't find its target. But what a start this has been from India. Hustling and bustling, rocking and rolling already, Liam.
Oh, absolutely. Another wonderful cross in, and that's exactly the same thought that resonates within me, Rohit. The fact that the wing play has been superb. And even on that second goal, Ranjana Chanu, who we know can light up that wing, making the cross. And here they come once again, in fact, Pyari Zaza down the right hand side. And she is also very comfortable. And as she was scoring that second goal, I was mentioning Myanmar because that is when she last netted for the Indian national side. Although India lost both those games, rather lost 1 and drew 1 of those games, Pyari Zaza scoring in both. It was a 1-1 draw and then a 2-1 loss. both friendly games as well. But she is making a habit of finding the back of the net, whether it's for club, for country, or for her state side.
First throw-in of the game for Maldives after a long time. They have walked into the Indian half. So they'll be hoping to find a bit of rhythm. They'll be hoping to try and disrupt the incessant Indian flows altogether. The Indian attack, it has been extremely fluid. The kind of passing that we've seen, the kind of chemistry that you pointed out, Liam, early on, I think that has been brilliant as well. All the way back to the goalkeeper. Link Toigambi Devi under the stakes and no challenges whatsoever. And now slowly and steadily, it's Sanju on the ball. Sanju switches it to that center field out there. Nice bit of work. Pyari Zaza might have another shy at goal. She goes for the far post. Is it? No. Sets up Les Lindercom. In fact, Lindercom Sato, who's made no mistake in making it 3-0 in favor of India. It looks like Maldives is coming up out of the seams. Another sensational run from Pyari Zaza, scoring 2, setting up 1, and no mistake made by Lindercom in poking that home from point-blank range as India runs riot here at the Padukone Dravid Centre for Sports Excellence in Bengaluru. And Maldives, they are wondering that what they have been hit by. They have no answers. They have no clues. It feels like an entire mismatch of a contest as the hosts make merry.
Oh yes, all too easy. Pyari Zaza in the thick of it all. Finding Linda Com, they know each other so well. Played together so many times before this. And selfless stuff from Pyari Zaza. That is what this team is all about. She had an opportunity to get a hat-trick. I'm sure she will later on as well. But playing it into the path of Linda Com, and of course she was not going to miss from there. 3 goals to the good. This could be another drubbing for the Maldives. Here we go again down the left-hand side looking for number 4. It does fall towards Linda Com. She plays it backwards. Another shooting opportunity. But they do clear it away. Fantastic defending there by Julie Kishan. India have it again.
Quality football, yeah, absolutely quality football from the Blue Tigresses. Pyari Zaza once again through that center field. Good exchange out there. And now switched away to the right. The idea was to try and find the Indian captain, Dangmei Grace. A good attempt there by Linda Com. However, Sanju snatches it back. Tries to go for that cross, but gets blocked along the way. And now kind of runs into a melee of 3 boots. Another long ranger being attempted, but doesn't really find the back of the net, doesn't really find the direction, goes out of play.
Once again down the right hand side. Should be a corner, and it is. A flurry of attacks from the Blue Tigresses, playing this opening few minutes at a very high intensity. The Maldives team not being able to keep up for the time being. That one out by Abdul Hanan Maisha. Now the cross comes in, and that is brilliantly headed into the back of the net. What a wonderful finish. I did say Pyari Zaza would have a chance to complete her hat-trick, and within 15 minutes she scores a wonderful hat-trick. Look at that. Superb stuff from her.
Talk about precision, talk about quality, and more importantly, talk about using your footballing acumen to the perfect. And exactly that's what Pyari has done. She's been right on top of her game. She's been an absolute predator, famished for goals. And once again, making no mistake. A chance came knocking on her doors, and with a thumping header, the way she positioned, the way she timed her leap to perfection, I think that was brilliant. And now Neha storming in from the left. Another cross maybe, and here it comes, and that's goal number 5, is it? Yes, it is. In fact, that's gone through the hands of Aminat Lisa. And Neha, despite the fact that she was not expecting that to go in, but the goalkeeper has completely veered it off its actual path and has helped the ball to imbricate itself into the back of the net. I think it's gonna be a massive moment for Neha as well. A run from the left, a sensational one at that. And when she knew that she had to cross the ball, I think the angle once again wasn't really in her favor, but she did try and take a shy. But what a start this has been. We understand that Maldives, their defense, hasn't really had the best of days so far. But the kind of drubbing or the kind of thrashing that they are at the receiving end of, India looks like they want to make an absolute show of this. We are on the 30th of December, one day to conclude what has already been a great year for the Blue Tigresses. And now they have already proven in the first 15 minutes that they are not going to mince their words. They are going to put their best foot forward. Nice passes being played out. Take a look at that control and the confidence, the understanding between the players. You know, those small movements that are now being knitted together by India, it kind of tells you about how fluid they are, how much of this game means to them. And we know that there are two friendlies which are to be played. This is the first one, which is unfurling ahead of you all. So I think they want to make the most out of these two friendlies. It's not just a victory, defeat, or a draw. I mean, it's not just the consequence of the game that matters to them, but what also matters to them, particularly as pointed out by Joachim Alexanderson before, is that how they play this game, their body language. Dangmei Grace on the right. Here's another cross that comes floating in, but straight into the hands of the goalkeeper. It has been a tough day under the sticks for Aminat Lisa. Not the best of outings so far. Already conceded 5 within 17 minutes and kind of struggling and wobbling to keep the ball under control. That last goal itself, I think it could have been a much better job done by Aminat Lisa. But then somehow or the other, she fumbled and more importantly, steered the ball off its actual path and steered it into the back of the net. All the way back to Lingtoi Gambi Devi, and she'll have no challenge whatsoever. This has indeed been a dream start for India to savor, and now they like to build on further, riding on this.
Here they come, another cross in. And you're absolutely right, Rohit. It's all about the intensity that you play with, the way they are finding each other, passing through the lines, and trying different things, of course. Now that you're 5-0 up with 18 minutes played, there is lots of time to try particular things. Down the right hand side they come again. Sanju plays it through. Another cross. A bit of a spill, but then eventually Aminat Lisa takes it. And from the Maldives point of view, they've got to keep a bit of the ball, hold on to possession as much as they can, try and create a few chances. It's been a while since they've scored two. It's always going to be a tough ask for them. But a few passes, a few moves, something maybe to give them a bit of confidence. Right now, all they're doing is defending their goal. Almost all 11 players behind the ball. The Indian side have started off really well.
Yeah, and since we've already seen 5 goals in a span of just, let's say 20 minutes, I think what I will be really intrigued to see is when does, or rather if they do get a chance, the likes of Rimpa Haldar and Simran Gurung, when do they come on? Because Rimpa Haldar, she was absolutely sensational for West Bengal in the recently concluded Senior Women's NFC for Rajmata Jijabai Trophy. And Simran Gurung as well. She almost played in a similar verb and a similar norm as well. I mean, the kind of audacity, the kind of penetrations that we would see from Simran, particularly in that final third, that was absolutely brilliant. This is another fine run from the right, goes with the far post. Could have been goal number 6 as well. Sanju this time trying her luck from range, knows that at this point in time Aminat Lisa is shaken. And again, just outpacing her marker and going for the goal all by herself. And as you can see, the starting 11 for both the sides, so far it has remained intact. There's still a lot of players to take the center stage, and I think with 5-0 up at the 20th minute mark, Joachim Alexanderson, he'll try and make a few changes as well. For the first time, Maldives are showing a bit of intent, trying to come in from that left, but that infringement has been rendered null and void by the alertness of the Indian defense.
Another ball through now. Opportunity for number 6. It should be 6, and it is. Easy as you like. The second for Linda Com. Wonderful ball through. No real competition there for her. One-on-one situation, and you would always put your money on Linda Com to finish that one. She is also on a hat-trick now, and it's getting very, very disappointing from a Maldives point of view. 6 goals within the first 21 minutes. This could be a huge scoreline once again.
I never thought I'd be saying this, but I think we have already arrived at a juncture where we are about to see, or possibly I'll have the leeway of saying this, that it's raining hat tricks in Bengaluru. I mean, we know the weather of Bengaluru at times. It can be pretty mercurial. It might rain and you might not even know about it. I mean, that is how it can be. But the way the Blue Tigresses have started, first it was Pyari with an absolutely electric display, and now Linda Com showing her flair and prowess. But more importantly, I think apart from these two players, I think what's really impressive out here is the way the Indian midfield has performed. They have come together in the perfect harmony, whether it's wing play, whether it's taking all the attack through that center field. I think it has been absolutely sensational. And more importantly, the fact that Maldives, they have kind of rolled themselves into their defensive integument way too early in the wee hours of the game itself, and they haven't really found the support from Aminat Liza under the sticks either. I think it's making life a lot easier for the Blue Tigresses. Another chance, this time from the left, trying to outpace a marker. She does find that opening, and Pyari once again hoping to take the shot on half a turn, lost her shape in the process and missed out on her mark. But it looks like at this point in time, Maldives, they have no clue where they are. They have no clue how to stall the relentless barrage of this Indian aggression.
Absolutely. Well, they've got to try and find a way to do so. Got lots of time in this game and another one coming up for you in a few days' time. This will give a lot of confidence to the Indian side, though. As I said, playing the ball around. A great point you mentioned about the midfield. Ball lost there, though, but then won back pretty nicely. This is an opportunity now for Maldives to at least move forward, create something or the other, but it's won back pretty easily there by Sangeeta Basfor. Given away again, though. First time we've seen India make a couple of mistakes, and somehow they just can't get possession back. Now eventually they do, and in fact it could be a bit of a counter because lots of the Maldives players moved up for that attack. Linda Com trying to move through, but that is good defensive work from Shafa. Com though plays it through. Pyari Zaza was through on goal, but got there by unfair means, a bit of a pull from behind. And she did bring down Rania Ibrahim. And what you mentioned about that midfield, Rohit, the likes of Sangeeta Basfor, who has played there many a time, she even scored versus Nepal in the SAF Championship semis. And also someone like Neetu Linda, who we've seen playing for Jharkhand, played really well in the Rajmata Jijabai trophy. She's also got a call up, so that midfield is definitely where everything spawns from.
Absolutely, Liam, and I think it is the importance of tournaments like these, whether it's a senior women's NFC, and I think even Indian Women's League is around the corner as well. So it's about to start, and possibly in the very first half of January. I'm not really sure of the exact date, but with that being said, I think it's tournaments like these where these young women now they can also express themselves. They have something to look forward to. You can see clearly the frowns intensifying in that Maldives dugout. Mohammad Nizam not really feeling the best, and how can you? I mean, you've conceded half a dozen already. So yes, you will have your worries. You're gonna fret about what or how the proceedings are gonna rock and roll in the upcoming minutes. And in fact, now more than trying to score, your eyes will be set on how to defend. Your eyes will be set on trying to bolster the belly of the beast, because right now it doesn't really feel like it's strong enough to contain the Indian heat. At this point in time, it's coming apart at the barest of scratches. It feels like they are being held together by more of a very loose thread, and that thread is not really holding strong against the duo of Linda Com and Pyari. And I think with this being said, with that being said, both these teams, they will have to find out their own ways. India, they'll be hoping to score more goals. Another delivery from the left, and a flashing header being attempted. Who else than Pyari? But this was not on target. You can see Dangme Grace. She'll be delighted with the performance of her teammates, and I think she'll be hoping to amplify the miseries of Maldives, and she'll be hoping to try and make India score a lot more goals before they can go ahead and conclude this fixture. What do you think, Liam, is exactly the idea of the one and only Joachim Alexanderson when it comes to the friendlies? What is he looking forward to apart from getting the victories registered?
Oh, I think it's pretty simple. It's firstly to take a look at how the players play with each other, certain combinations. I'm sure we'll see quite a few substitutions and maybe a different starting 11 in the second friendly. We'll also see the attitude of the players while it's training. We only see the 90 minutes that of work that they put in, but he will see how they are in the training sessions, what the team bonding is like. It's about a project, it's about moving forward from here and starting from scratch. So there are certain things that as a coach you will look forward to, and I'm sure he will be noting things, whether it's the mindset of players, how they prepare for games, how they play in practice, what their feelings are like, their energy levels, lots of other things. So it's about understanding how things are in a camp, and that is very important. Possession lost there though by India. This is an opportunity for Maldives, but as always, this time defensive work by Aruna Bag, who's someone who's really impressed as well in the start of her career. And now as well, Pyari Zaza down the right hand side will be looking for the cutback. She does, and that is number 7. Easy as you like. Once again, that combination, Pyari Zaza and Linda Com. Wonderful stuff.
Goal for
And
Team
that is 7 now for the Indian side.
39,
And
Linda
Linda Com gets a hat trick of her own. And as you said, Rohit, it is raining hat tricks in Bengaluru.
Well, 2 hat-tricks within half an hour, and who would have expected that? I mean, yes, it goes without saying, on the paper it was more of a David versus Goliath clash, but then India, they were right away going for goals from the word go itself, and both Linda Com and Pyari Kaka, I mean, they were absolutely sparkling. Another chance from the left, goes for the goal, and somehow or the other, it has been a goal line repulsion by Maldives, clinging on to it with their lives on the line, and somehow or the other, they just get their danger lines cleared. What a display this has been. Looks like the referee will have to intervene. A bit of injury problems out there for the captain of Maldives. Hawa Hanifa is it? In fact, looks like not one but two of the Maldives players. They have gone down, and they'll need a bit of reprieve. They'll need a bit of attention altogether. And here you go, the man whom we were talking about, Joachim Alexanderson. He will be absolutely delighted with the kind of proceedings that it has been. Just 30 minutes in, and there's another corner, so another chance for India to try and make it 8-0. I mean, no matter, I think we are getting a bit too greedy, Liam. But again, who doesn't like goals? Don't we, Liam?
Oh, absolutely. And especially when you have a chance to score for your country, you will go hell for leather. That's where lots of the players would be itching to get onto the pitch, especially, as you said, the likes of Reem Pahaldar, there's Pooja as well. King the Kim is also on the bench, so a few strikers who will be itching to get on. Sibani Devi too, as the Maldives side get a bit of a breather, which I think is good for them. Mohammad Nizam instructing a few of his players as to how to go about things. It looks like everything is fine. We will resume with a corner. Interesting way the Indian side is lining up for the set piece. All of them starting on the edge of the area, and these are the things that we might notice, Rohit. Some set piece differences as well. Delivery is in, and that is a good header again from Pyari. Brilliant save on the rebound, and this time it's over the top. Another opportunity for the Indian side, but Aminat Lisa getting a strong right hand to deny the Indians another goal.
I think it's going to be a massive boost of confidence for Aminat Lisa as well. I mean, one might say that she's already conceded 7 goals, so how does it matter? But it does matter, because there are days where you're pretty shaky, so you need something to look forward to. So a save like that, it'll give her confidence. But talking about that corner, I think, yes, even I was about to point it out. I'm pretty sure they must have had a bit of training sessions going around the set pieces like that. Another cross being delivered into the box there. India, it is the captain Dangmei Grace. Grace from the right. And this time, straight into the hands of Aminat Lisa, who started being a bit too mobile than she was, let's say, around 5 minutes ago. So that is, we were talking about, like I just pointed out, that save from her might just boost her confidence, and she'll try and do things a lot better than she was initially. And Liam, a few moments ago, I think we were discussing the impact, the rippling effects of the growing leagues in the women's circuit. 17 shots for India, and we are just 32 minutes in. Tells you about the unparalleled dominion that they have knitted out here in Bengaluru. I don't think it has been a very welcoming welcome for Maldives at all. They have been met with a rising bout of hostility, and as the fans watch on with bated breath, hoping for more goals with every minute. In fact, not just them, we as well. And India, and we have said this before, I think that midfield, it has been a sensational touch. Dangmei Grace from the right, looking for a cutback. Here it comes, and my goodness, how did that not go in? Well, it's understandable, Neha. She's slightly young, so she'll need a bit of experience, and I think she kind of rushed into the shot, got too below the ball, and that skied away. But what a chance again, almost the entire goal gaping to Neha.
Oh yeah, we will see a few missed opportunities, of course. The fact that they have created so many chances, we will see a few misses from the Blue Tigresses, and that's part and parcel of the game. Unfortunately for the Maldives, though, another injury taking place. It has been such an eventful first half for the defense of the Maldives. And that woman on screen, Maibam Devi, the goalkeeper, hasn't had a touch of the ball really. Maybe one or two back passes going towards her. Couple of feeble attempts on goal. It will be an opportunity for her maybe to just come up slightly away from her box. Play a sweeper keeper role, try something different. We've seen how important it is to play out from the back, and the fact that you mentioned the state leagues and the Indian football circuit, the Indian Women's League, which has been fantastic. We've had the pleasure of calling a few games in that league as well. We see that every team tries to play out from the back. Possession-based systems are in place, and that really helps. So it's all about the process, the project. As we see the Maldives once again trying to stitch a couple of moves together. That's a decent fake there from Rifa. Lots of pressure in that Indian midfield. Even though they're 7-0 up, they will not want to concede. They'll want to keep a clean sheet. In fact, it was a 9-0 victory last time that India beat Maldives back in 2022. As we see again, a bit of possession in the Indian box. 10 minutes to go in this first half.
Yeah, a very good point that you made. I think playing from the back and with players like Sangeeta Basford coming in, Dangmei Grace coming in, Pyari Kaka as well. These players, with the introduction of these players, it's really good to see how they kind of keep the ball along the carpet. They play those small, short, and crisp passes. Grace on the ball there, plays it to Lindercombe, back to Grace again. Lindercombe taking her time, now switches it to the left. Neha has arrived. All the way to Sangeeta Basford in that central channel. She's got a very venomous shot at her behest. Falls for Sanju. Sanju delivers the ball into the box, but then not the most clinical headers that you would expect from someone of Lindercombe's caliber. Could have been far better. And yes, I mean, I think playing from the back, playing those short passes, playing the ball along the ground just tells you not about the kind of play that Alexanderson is trying to instill in these Indian players. It also tells you about the confidence, about the rising aplomb and panache in the Indian players. The chemistry now they are starting to knit. The fact that they are playing leagues together, the fact that they are playing these friendly matches together, it also is a massive boost for these young players to get a hold, get a hang of affairs. Another lovely cross and could have been trouble, but this is the first brilliant save out there from Aminat Lisa, storming out of her line, throwing her body along the carpet and snatching the ball away from the Indian Marauders up front.
Aminat Lisa has gone in leaps and bounds in this game, actually. Made a few really good saves. And she is, of course, the most active of all the players because of the barrage of shots that the Indian side have shot towards her. But slowly but surely, Maldives are moving forward, trying to create a few chances. Mehbam Devi might have to produce a few saves as the game progresses. Of course, they will be focusing on the clean sheet. And another thing that Joachim Alexanderson will be looking at is the defensive solidarity. We said that Ashrata Devi is not playing this game, so without her, how the defense is shaping up, the different options, we know how attacking the wing backs are as well. So how the two defenders in the center manage without them when they move forward. All these things will be in the back of their heads and lots of different things will be tested out. Maybe a few different formations as well. We'll see how we progress, but for now, around 7 minutes remaining plus added time. It's a cool 7 goals ahead for the Indian side. And it's all about building that confidence after a dampening, heart-wrenching defeat actually on penalties versus Nepal in the SAF championships. They came pretty close, but eventually the dreaded penalty shootout, the undoing of the blue Tigresses. So it's very important, Rohit, to finish off the year on a high after that, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely, Liam. I think it's very, very crucial because this hasn't been a great year in terms of finding the victories. Like we said, in the last 5 games, things haven't really gone in India's favor. And more importantly, apart from the defeat against Nepal in the semi-final, well, Pyari Kaka on the ball again, trying to go for that long ranger, jams it into the defender of Maldives. And yes, I think what stung them more was the defeat against Bangladesh in the group stages. I mean, yes, they qualified, so that wasn't a challenge for them. But then at the end of the day, I think it is all about getting the momentum in place. It is all about how you slowly and steadily come together and make every single match count. And like you said, Liam, it's not just about the victory, it's not just about the scoreline, but the entire body language of the team. Well, this time, Maldives, they try and penetrate from the left. Mariam Rifa, she has been one of those solitary beacons of light for Maldives today. But India wrests possession back. And Neha, she has been a rising youngster. And this might be a show for her as well. Pyari Kaka with another long ranger. that Aminat Lisa a lot more confident this time, waits for the ball, and wraps her gloves around the ball without any trouble whatsoever. 5 minutes of regulation time remaining, and looks like Maldives somehow they have no clue, and they are still struggling. And more importantly, I think another thing about this Maldives side is they aren't really coming together. I mean, for them, it's more of, instead of the cohesive action that we would love to see, it's more about a bit of scrappy football. Like they are kind of just seeing ball, hitting ball kind of mentality is what they have got. Because India, yes, they have got them on the strings. Another chance for India from the left. And again into the galloping stride of Pyari Kaka. Now back to Dangmei Grace. And that will go out of play. And the referee's blown the whistle as well.
Yeah, once again, Pyari always in the center of it all. Ball with Sangeeta now, who's lining it up. Wanted to go for that left-footed finish from quite a distance. As I said, she did score in that game versus Nepal. A bit of a stoppage now. Looks like they're really feeling the intensity. Now the Maldives players. Aminat Fazla is down now. And as we get a bit of a breather, I'd like to allude to the fact that yes, that loss versus Bangladesh was one which really hurt. And Bala Devi getting on the score sheet back then, so she is also one of the prime players not involved. And to come back from that one and go up against Nepal, get a 1-1 draw, lose in the dreaded penalty shootout, just shows a bit of the character even though they lost. And speaking of character, the Maldives side need to recover from this one pretty quickly. This injury from Aminat Fazla and also the 7 goals that they have conceded so far, need to recover from that. And this wonderful facility here at the Patagon Javed Center for Sports Excellence hosting this game. Looks like the players are moving this side. Might be a bit of an insect or so, but I think we'll be fine to continue.
Possibly a B attack, Liam, if I'm not too mistaken, can happen at times. And I think even the match officials as well, they are on the move. So yes, we'll have a bit of hold up because these invasions, they can be really threatening. And then more importantly, like if you get stung once, you still have an entire half of football to play. And yes, there you go. I mean, that's one of the ways to try and combat this. I've seen this happening in other games, and I mean, I was in the commentary box itself, so yeah, I've seen this happening where players literally run for cover. But I think the players this time, they just they realized it a bit too late, and the moment they realized, they knew that it was more of an SOS call, because again, it can be literally stinging. So slightly unfortunate, and I think game will resume shortly enough. But this moment has to pass. We'll wait, and we'll let you know if we have any clarification on the game. Stay tuned, everyone. Looks like the players are back on the pitch. Yes, we had a bit of a hold up, and for the ones curious, just to give you all a clarification, I think it was the invasion of the bees, not something that you would expect, but then I think that is how it is. You got to take your breathers and you got to stop. But let's just hope everyone is okay, everyone is fine, and we can see with the players back on their feet. We will see the remainder of the first half. I think 1 minute of regulation time was remaining, and whatsoever will get added on, possibly around 5 to 6 minutes, because that's how long the game was stopped. But nonetheless, as things are, India will be hoping to compound the scoreline.
So we will get back underway. Possession given back to Maldives. A minute or so left, and as Rohit said, hopefully everybody's okay. Well, the fact that India mounted attack after attack, I think the bees were slightly inferior and they had to mount an attack of their own, but everything is okay now. Maldives will be looking to use that stoppage, but that is a wonderful ball through, in fact, and now India have a chance to make it 8 down the left hand side. Wonderfully taken. That is a counter attack at its best, and India with a sting of their own. A ball through the center all the way to Neha, and the debutant does not disappoint. A wonderful finish into the bottom right corner, and that is number 8 for the Indians.
And Liam, once again, we might just witness a third hat-trick as well. We've already seen Neha scoring 1 before. We've seen Pyari Khakha scoring 1. We've seen Linda Comserto scoring 1. And now Neha with 2 goals as well. But more importantly, more than the goal, what was really brilliant about that entire move was that $1 million defense splitting pass. It was timed to perfection, it was weighed to perfection, and it was delivered with clinical precision that kind of belongs to the footballing folklore. And Neha, I think we have already seen her play out in the state leagues. We have seen that how clinical she can be, how famished she can be for the goals, and more importantly, the best part about Neha is the kind of workload that she takes, the kind of runs that she has from the very left. Here's another chance for India, this time from the right. An opportunity for Linda Comserto. Linda delivers the cross, a bit of an overpowered touch, but falls in for Neha at the left. The ball falls back for Dangmei Gray. She has a shot at her behest. Goes for it, unfortunately misses out her mark.
Lots of chances coming in. This time it is the skipper who went past a few players, wasn't able to keep it on target. And what a way to start off your senior debut, or rather your senior career. They are getting a couple of goals. That is wonderfully taken. And that second goal. And almost into double digits now, the Indian side. They'll be looking for a few more. Sanju crosses it in. It's headed away. Keeper comes for it, parries it out. That's good work from Aminath Liza, who has used that 6-yard area a lot more as the game has progressed. Another bit of defending to do for the Maldives side. It will be Dangmai Grace to take it. Ranjana Chanu is also moving forward down that left. Good delivery, and this could be the 9th, but it just hit one of the Indian players and went out. It could have easily gone towards the back of the net. Another opportunity. Chances galore for the Blue Tigresses. Out of those 4 corners, all of them have been delivered emphatically into the area.
Yeah, the accuracy. I mean, that has been absolutely mind-boggling from the Blue Tigresses. Maldives, however, has possession, but then another mispass allows India to reclaim possession. Again, another phenomenal run from Dangmei Grace on the right, goes for the cross. And before Pyari Kaka could have connected with that, a defensive intervention coming in from Maldives momentarily. Possession falls back for India, taking their time, slow and steady, growing in the game. Another lovely delivery, headed away to safety. Falls back for Pyari Kaka. Can go for the long ranger, but once again jams it into Mariam Rifa, and Mariam Rifa has gone down. Is it Mariam? Apologies, that was Eshat Ravina. It looks like Ravina, she's unable to sustain the blow after the collision with Pyari Kaka. And Liam, don't you think that these kind of collisions, they are pretty normal? In football, you would see them pretty frequently. That was just the ball hitting the shin bone, that too from very close quarters. And I think somehow or the other, it feels like Maldives, they are going down a bit too easy at this point in time.
Oh yes, they have been going down a bit too easily, and I think it's also about the fact that want a bit of a break in momentum. Whenever the Indian side has the ball, they are absolutely barraging that box, taking shots, doing everything. So when you are down a few goals, then you maybe just want to break a bit of that momentum, take the sting out of it, if you will. So maybe that's why. And also the intensity might just be getting to these players. But they are giving it a fight, are the Maldives team. That's the most they can do. And it looks like Ash, Eshat Ravina will be okay, should be okay to continue. With a few moments left in this first half, they will have a bit of a break after this. And this half has taken a bit of an eternity. It will feel like an eternity from a Maldives point of view, conceding 8 goals, always defending. Now we should resume. And that resumption is short-lived. A first half comes to an end with attacks and stings and everything in between. It's 8 goals for the Indian side, and there's 45 minutes to play as well.
It's been a very dominant display in the first 45 minutes. The Blue Tigresses, they have come from all corners and quarters of the ground. And that's a halftime scoreline. India 8, Maldives 0. Pyari Kaka with a hat-trick. Linda Comserto with a hat-trick. Neha on the cusp of one. 2 goals already. And will be looking for more. Let's see if the change of sides, if the change of halves can galvanize Maldives into much more serious action. But right now, the intent is pretty much on the lower side. They'll have to go back to the drawing board. This is how it panned out. It started off with both the teams exchanging pleasantries. But then, right from the very opening whistle itself, India got into action and got into the show of brilliance, a show of their authority. And it was Pyari Kaka who opened the scoring. That was the first chance that fell for India. Dangmei Grace with a lovely ball at the near post. And then another sensational delivery from Pyari Kaka. But then with things not really falling in India's favour, Pyari Kaka decided to take over the reins. Linda Com with a sensational assist and a lovely volley to hammer it into the back of the net. That was a great save from Aminat Lisa, but then it wasn't enough. As Pyari Kaka, she was an absolute predator, scarring and scrambling for goals in front. No words minced. And that was another lovely ball altogether and a sensational header that completed the hat-trick of Pyari Kaka. And then a bit of a haplessness befalling the Tides of Maldives as the goalkeeper making a hash of affairs. Flashes of brilliance kept on sparkling, and then a 1v1 situation. Linda Comserto making no mistake whatsoever, steering the goalkeeper off a train. Pyari Kaka came close again, but not a very good chance. And then Linda Comserto completing a hat-trick in clinical fashion, rattling the woodwork on that occasion. Could have done better, but ran into a melee of Maldives boots. And then Neha stepping up in stunning fashion to find that far post. And that was the 8 goal. Dangmei Grace, she's done a sensational job, but somehow or the other couldn't find the back of the net. And that's how the first half came to an end. A quick look at the stats. 73% ball possession for India, 27 for Maldives. 22 shots for India, 13 of them on target. Just that solitary shot for Maldives, nowhere close to the goal. And 4 corners for India. 5 saves made by the Maldives goalkeeper. Just that solitary foul, which was done by Maldives. No cards shown yet. And with this, we come to the end of the first half. We'll now dive into a short breather and return shortly with the second half of the contest. Stay tuned, everyone. Welcome back, everyone. We are all set for the second half of the contest. It has been a dominant display from the Blue Tigresses in the first half. Not only have they dictated the shots with an iron fist, but the kind of gameplay that we have observed, it has been absolutely mesmerizing and captivating. Talk about the numbers. The Indian women, they have absolutely painted dominion in their favor. Maldives, they have not just a mountain to climb, but more importantly, they'll first have to figure out a way to try and stall the Indian infringements, the Indian invasions. And this time attacking on your frame from the left to the right after the customary change of colors. After the customary change of sides, rather. It's going to be Maldives. Maldives are red, dressed in their signature red threads. And India, this time, dressed in their signature blues, will be attacking from the right to the left, hoping to inflict further blues upon their counterparts who already aren't in great shape. We had a bit of drama as well, and we had bees intervening too. So, yeah, a lot of action that happened out in the first half. 8 goals were being scored, a couple of them hat tricks. Looks like twin changes happening for Maldives. They have got Fahimat Inasha Adam making her way to the center, and now also stepping out Aishat Ravina. It's gonna be Safia Rafa who will be taking the center stage for Maldives for the remainder of the game, if not substituted. Let's see if these couple of changes can bring about a change of fortunes for the women in red. They desperately need a slice of luck. And as you can see, keeping a very keen tab on affairs, Kanika Barman, she's taking her calls. Even she has ruled this game with an iron fist. And off we go in the second half. And it's going to be an early throw-in for India. And joining me in the commentary box once again is Liam Bain. Welcome back, Liam.
Thank you so much, Rohit. What a formidable start from the Indian side in that first half. 15 minutes in, there were 3-4 goals and 45 minutes of fantastic attacking football. Maldives will be wanting to at least get a few chances and test the likes of Maibam Devi in between the sticks. Indian side, of course, will want to continue. They'll want to hit double digits, of course. Here's Pyari looking for a pass through, but there was a bit of an interception, or rather a touch from Afza. We'll see how Maldives can try and make the most of those changes that you mentioned. Maybe have a bit of the ball, a little bit more of the ball. This is a nice ball over the top. The intent has to be better from them. That is the most important thing. Yes, you are losing by a few goals, but it's all about improving as the game progresses. Bit of a push there from Sangeeta Basfor, who set up Neha with probably the pass of the game, maybe the pass of the year actually. The penultimate day of 2024. A left-footed ball through the center, piercing the defense of the Maldives, setting up Neha, who still had a lot to do. But that was a wonderful goal from all angles. That's a ball over the top. It will be seen out for a goal kick.
A couple of early infringements into the Indian half out there from Maldives. But I don't think India is pretty phased by that. Ranjana Chanu. Ranjana plays it to Grace. Dangmei Grace, who's come a long way down in order to aid her defenses. And that will go to Maibam Devi, the goalkeeper. She's done a fine work so far. Hasn't really been summoned into action too many times, but whenever she has been asked to come out of a line and collect the ball to try and avoid any sparks of fear in the Indian hearts, she's done that with a smile on her face. And Neha right now was on the left. And this is Linda Comserto already with a hat-trick. What a sparkling presence she has been for India. And as we said this before, it's going to be interesting to see those new names coming out. The second half has been a bit more of a positive start here for Maldives, at least in terms of controlling the possession. But they will, as you said, Liam, I mean, they will have to be slightly better. They'll have to try and compose themselves. That composure has been missing. They have never really looked like that they can threaten India. So they'll have to start believing in themselves. They'll have to start taking the ball forward slowly and steadily, start getting those passes right. And maybe instead of always playing those over the top, those long balls, try and play it along the carpet to control it. It's going to be a throw in here for Maldives. But so far, so good for the hosts.
Oh, definitely. And we speak about the different things that coach Joachim Alexanderson will want from the side. Keeping possession will also be something that he'll speak about, especially when you are a few goals up. Look at that. That is brilliant pace from Neha. That is why she is donning the blue of the Indian side. Good cutback from her, but well dealt with by the Maldives defense. Up the pitch in a flash is Neha. And Maldives, of course, will have spoken about how to negotiate the way this Indian attack is flowing. Here's Neha once again. Does really well with a bit of traffic around. Ranjana with the cross. This is another opportunity for Linda. It's over the top this time. Very nicely set by Pyari. Those two are very tough to deal with. First proper opportunity of this second half for the Blue Tigresses.
Kind of lost her shape on that occasion and took the shot in a bit of a rush out there. Linda Comserto, one of the growing names in the Indian women's excellence. She was phenomenal in the IWL as well last year. And this time the Indian defenders coming up. It's been a long journey for Indian football, Liam, particularly in the women's excellence. I mean, names that revolutionized the game, the likes of Shanti Malik is how it all started. And then Bem Bem Devi, the Durga of Indian football, she took the game to a different level. Bala Devi stepped up next, Aditi Chauhan, and now it's Ashalata Devi. These women, I mean, they have completely rewritten the Indian footballing excellence, particularly for the women. They have given them a dream to look up to. Here's a chance for India. Nicely set up into the stride, and that is goal number 9. A stunning strike, and that's the first for Sanju. Right. In fact, that was Sangeeta Basfor with that phenomenal hit. Take a look at this. Linda Comserto receiving that with perfection and a deft touch to set it up. And Sangeeta Basfor making no mistake in cannoning it into the back of the net. India 9, Maldives 0.
For Team India, the goal was scored by jersey number 6.
Fantastic stuff from India's number 6, Sangeeta Basfor, who rules the roost in the midfield but can find the back of the net when she wants to. There have been 2 fantastic team goals for India out of the 9 that they've scored, and she has been at the heart of both of them, scoring one and assisting the other. Here she is again, playing it through for Pyari. And that is another wonderful team goal. And guess where it all started? From Sangeeta Basfor. It's as if she could hear us praising her to the 7th heavens. And look at that. Another wonderful setup from Pyari. Linda Com doesn't miss. Those two and Sangeeta, they have been the stars of the show. And it is double digits now for the Indians.
The goal was scored by jersey number 9, Lydia Com.
That was definitely an artistic stroke of brilliance when it comes to scoring team goals. The way the entire team combined, the way they took their positions, and the way they crowded in front of the goal, giving them that additional bit of leeway, that additional bit of bandwidth to take the number to the double figures. And yes, it's 10-0. What a display this has been from India. A thorough domination of Maldives. This might be at opening for Maldives, but the Indian defenders, they'll not allow any whiff, any sniff whatsoever to Maldives. Plays it all the way back to Bem Bem Devi. She switches it to the right. and gently tapped forward. Nicely kept in place. Sangeeta Basfor, as you said, she's one of those midfield stalwarts, and she's done a phenomenal job. Pyari Khaka on the ball again. Pyari pushes it back to Linda Comserto, is it? No, in fact, Linda Comserto is the one now at the receiving end of it. Can she create that ball for her teammates? Looks like she'll need a bit of help. And just slowly and steadily, it's Dangmei Grace now. Dangmei plays it to the right. Here's a chance again for India and opportunity. And here comes another long range and a stunning finish from Ranjana Chanu. Took her time, kept on steering out of the defender's way, and eventually when she had the shooting lane open, she let the pile driver fly. And now India 1 goal shy of a dozen out here at the Padukone Dravid Centre for Sporting Excellence.
The goal scored by jersey number 14.
It's getting even better and better as the game progresses, Rohit. What a fantastic strike. And Ranjana Chanu, this time we've seen her down that left-hand side, showing us that right foot of hers is as good as the left as well. Cutting inside and absolutely no chance. It was dipping under the crossbar of Aminat Liza. And now it's time for those changes that we mentioned. Kajal D'Souza, proud moment for her as she comes on. And of course Pyari with a wonderful display, a few assists, a hat-trick of goals, and a memorable occasion for her. 55 minutes in, she's taken off. Time for a few more changes. Rimpa Haldar, who we mentioned, will surely want to get in on the scoring act, and she is replaced by Linda Com, who scored a handful of goals as well. So now a bit of a different combination up front, and this should be exciting, Rohit.
Oh, undoubtedly. I mean, Rimpa Halda, she's an absolute powerhouse going for. Guess what? She's a very versatile player as well. Looks like another change is being lined up, and it's going to be Toibisana Chanu, Toibisana Chanu, who will be making her way to the centre. And we were talking about Rimpa Haldar. Rimpa Haldar, she is a very versatile player. She can play on the wing, she can play out in the centre field, can play as a lone striker, can play as a winger as well. That kind of tells you volumes about the kind of gentry that Rimpa Haldar brings to the platter. So yes, this is a massive moment for her as well. This is the reward for her extraordinary performances, donning the threads of West Bengal in the Rajmata Jijabai Trophy. And here comes India once again through that centre field. Neha on the left, desperate for a hat-trick. Goes for the cross, an opportunity for India. Danger still not over, keeps lingering on. But eventually, by the time Kajal D'Souza could have latched onto it, the ball's gone out at the bounds of play, resulting in a corner because it took a deflection of the Maldives players.
Well, they're not going to let up. They're going to keep going. Another corner. Looking for the 12th now. Dangmai Grace has been superb with her deliveries. Not the best of ones this time round though. Another opportunity to shoot. Might have helter-skelter in the box, but it has been cleared away only as far as another blue shirt. Dangmai Grace looks for the chip this time. Good block from Maisha, who feels the wrath of another Dangmai Grace cross. She will stay down for the time being. There are the substitutions. And we speak so much, Rohit, about how Indian football, especially the women's game, has progressed. And we spoke about that 5-2 victory over Pakistan and the likes of Jyoti Chauhan, Manisha Kalyan, Bala Devi scoring in that game. Dangmai Grace herself scoring 2 in that game. And the fact that many of those players have gone abroad, have tested the waters and shown how talented they are abroad as well in the other European leagues, that is testament to how much Indian football has progressed. And of course, it will keep doing so.
Echoing your sentiments, Liam, I think another thing that I would like to mention, not only have they set the Indian standards pretty high. But as I said before, they have given a dream to the youngsters. I think now these young women, they look forward. They look forward to wearing the Indian threads. They look forward to wearing the jerseys in the Indian Women's League, which is the most prized league in Indian football as well. They look forward to playing the Rajmata Jijabai Trophy as well. So much to look forward to. Another cross comes in from the right and a brilliant finish out there. In the blink of an eye, what a sensational hit. It was not the easiest of chances because she had to level herself. It is Kajol D'Souza with an absolutely rollicking hit into the back of the net. That too with one of her foot in the air. And now India, they've got a dozen already. And Maldives, they are still to open their account. In fact, forget opening their account. They are still to have one shy at the goal.
A fantastic moment for Kajol as well. Youngster getting in amongst the scorers. Here she is once again. Opportunity, but very well defended by Hanifa. Last touches off her and it will be another corner. This time Dangmai Grace leaves it to someone else to put the delivery in. Another opportunity. Half an hour and more to play. This is already 3 goals more than the last time India played Maldives. They beat them 9-0. Crossing opportunity now from Pooja, who's also come in. Good delivery. Grace is there. Ranjana on her right foot. Didn't want to curl it this time. Wanted to go for another pile driver, as you would say, Rohit, but didn't take the shot early enough. And it's going from bad to worse from this Maldives side. What are the positives they can look for out of this game so far, Rohit?
Tough question you ask, Liam. I don't really have an answer apart from just a solitary name that has at least tried, to show that what it takes to be in an international game, and that is none other than Mariam Rifa. Mariam Rifa has been the only one trying to make those rings around her counterparts, but somehow or the other, she hasn't really found the rhythm that she's looking forward to. So, with that being said, Liam, I think apart from Mariam Rifa, Maldives has been a very blunt, a very toothless side. They'll need, yes, they'll take their lessons. They'll have a lot to work for. Somehow they have been outpaced, outmuscled in the midfield. But one thing in football, forget pace, forget everything. The bare minimum basic, the essential to get yourself rolling in an international game is to try and know your positions. The Maldives players, whether it has been their defense, whether it has been their attacking excellence, they have mostly been caught out of their positions. And as a result, even if they have gone for those long balls, over the top balls, it hasn't really found the target. So no wonder that they just have a solitary hit so far, and that was also off target. So kind of, puts too many questions on them. But then I think, again, this is a learning curve for them as well, playing against a heavily well-built team like India. The differences in their FIFA ranking. India ranked 69 currently, and Maldives, they are 163rd in the ranking. So obviously a massive chasm between these two sides. That's a lovely ball once again, storming in from the right, accelerating, and a minus comes in. Another opportunity. India makes it a baker's dozen, and it's Rimpa Haldar opening her account, pushing India further forward. Smiles blooming at their most majestic, as India has no relent against an ailing Maldives.
Absolutely no answers
That's a goal
for the
Team
Maldives
India.
side,
Jersey
and
number
India
2,
rampant. And it's Rimpa who joins the party, and it's a party indeed, with goals and assists galore. And whoever wants to join in can. And speaking of which,
There's a substitution
it will be
for
Pooja coming
India.
in,
Jersey number 8 out.
replacing
21.
Neetu Linda, who's had a fantastic show
Jersey number 12
in her
out.
first start here for the Indian side. I've seen Pooja, very attacking player as well, who will want to join on the action. Vikshit Bara will come on in place of a smiling Ranjana Chanu, and why not? after a fantastic goal from
For Team India.
outside
Jersey number 12
the area.
out. Jersey number 7 in.
She gets a
Jersey number
well-earned
17
break,
in.
and
Jersey
as
number
we
14
expected, lots
out.
of
Jersey
changes
number 3
will be
in.
coming in
Jersey number 8
from
out. Jersey number
Joachim
21 in.
Bont Alexanderson, and of course, Maldives side just waiting for this disappointing game to come to a close. Actually, lots of time remaining though. Another change actually. Shivani Topo, another defensive stalwart, comes in, and she replaces Sanju, who has been superb. Of course, the defense not having much to do, but all the defenders starting the attacks from the back, showing that they can pass through the lines and start off all the attacks from there. So lots of changes. If you can keep track of them. Well, I don't know what's tougher, keeping track of the substitutions, Rohit, or keeping track of the goals. We've seen so many of them today. Here come India once again. It'll be tough to keep this in, and not able to on that occasion. Kajal D'Souza.
I think it's tough to keep track of the goals actually. I mean, there has been a deluge, a glut of them. And on that very note itself, for the ones wondering, for the ones curious, the highest number of goals scored in an international football match was 31. Australia went on to beat American Samoa 31-0. I mean, yes, obviously I'm not expecting 31 goals to be scored out here, but I think for the Indian women, this has been nothing short of a record either. The way they have played, the way they have conducted themselves, I think this is a massive blow for Maldives as well, because if you take a look at their previous results that we said, they lost 13-0 against Bhutan as well, and they lost 11-0 against Nepal. So they haven't scored in their last 5 matches either, and now at 65 minutes to the last 450 minutes, Neha, she comes in from the left. This might be an opportunity that India is looking forward to. Here comes the cross, but not really on target. Maldives will be breathing a massive sigh of reprieve, and as we said before, I think for them now it's all about trying to concede as few as they can, because I think they have already been mortified. Conceding a baker's dozen isn't exactly the number that you are looking forward to, particularly against your name in an international game. Dangmei Gray, she's really worked hard. That's a lovely turn, and Kajol D'Souza makes it 2. India moves on to 14. Right now, goals are starting to come like runs in a cricket match for Team India, and the Blue Tigresses, they are making an absolute mockery of their counterparts.
A goal for Team India.
One of the best individual goals we've seen today. Nice ball through from Dangmai Grace, but it was all about that turn and touch from Kajol, slotting it in, getting yet another. Goals galore, as I said, and Kajol gets a second, and it's so good to see different scorers on the score sheet. Here they come again, actually. Another opportunity perhaps, but it was defended by the Maldives defenders. Bit of possessional play. Maldives not putting too much of pressure on the defenders, allowing them to play through the line. That has been put out. Will be a throw. Pooja trying to go down the line and cross. Looks like we'll have another change here.
Well, the change can happen, and as you said, Liam, too many changes already. That's because I think for both the teams, now the objective is not just contrastingly different, but they are polarizingly different. For India, it's about just keep on scoring, make this a show to remember for the ages. There's still another friendly coming up with which India will be kickstarting their new calendar year.
For Maldives.
That's on 2nd of January.
Jersey number 22 in.
Apart from that, however, and there you go, we were talking about the changes. Maldives looks like it's going to be Fatimat Shahuma who will be making her way to the center, and she's replacing Fatimat Feha Ali Hassan. Now again, the coach, I think Mohammad Nizam also running short of options, to be honest. He hasn't got the faintest of inkling about how to galvanize this team into motion. And Rishma Abdullah, another player coming in, and she's going to take the yard for Shafa Shiut. Yes, still 22 minutes of regulation time, and whatsoever gets added on. Apart from the goal celebrations, I don't think, Liam, there have been too many stoppages so far. Another delivery into the box from the right, but this time hitting the side netting out there. Another chance goes begging. What do you think is India eyeing for? Is it that 20 goal mark? Or right now is Alexanderson solely focused on what the intent is and what the body language of the Indian team is?
Yes, I think it's the latter. It'll always be the intent, the body language, the way they can move the ball along without making any mistakes. There again, we see Mahabam Devi coming out, playing from outside the area, which is, this is a game where you can try things like that. And now building from behind. These are what these friendly games are all about. And of course, we do have another coming up in a few days' time. Here are the substitutions that just took place. Faiha Ali Hassan coming on for the Maldives team. India registering their biggest win, 18 goals to nil versus Bhutan back in December 2010. Could surpass that today. The way they are playing, they should. Another crossing opportunity, very well headed away. That'll be a corner. Good defensive work on that occasion from Rishma, who has come on as a substitute.
Another corner for Team India, another chance for them to try and add to that already sparkling tally of theirs. Dangmei Grace with the corner. Flips that in. Falls at one of the Indian players' feet, but somehow she couldn't flip that in. But nonetheless, looks like danger's still not over as the threat looms large. It's going to be another corner, this time from another end. And India can just look forward to that. Looks like it's going to be Neha who will be going for the corner this time. She's got a very venomous left-footed in-swinger at her behest. Flicked in. And that is a lot closer towards the goal there, right in front of the goal mouth, but then kind of bobbling off each other. And the ball goes forward. Back for India. Once again, 70 minutes. 20 more minutes of regulation time, and then whatsoever gets added on. India still famished for goals. All the youngsters who have come on and who has come on as substitutes, it's time for them to showcase the kind of glitz and glam that they possess, the kind of caliber that their coach can look forward to as well.
Most definitely 18 and 19 years old, Kajal D'Souza and Rimpa Haldar. And to be able to get so many minutes in a FIFA International Women's Friendly, that itself, the gravitas of that, no matter who you're playing against, the pride of wearing the Indian jersey, that is something that you will cherish every minute of. And the fact that we are calling this game itself, Rohit, is so much, brings so much of pride to us. You can imagine these young women who have their careers ahead of them still being able to net a few goals, and the experience of scoring and playing at home, also playing in your home country, even better. And there are a few more minutes, 18 to be precise, to play, a bit of added time. So of course they would want to cherish all of that. Another opportunity, perhaps ball given away too easily. Dangmei Grace, who's still looking for a goal of her own, plays it backwards. Pooja is very, very quick down the right hand side. Good defensive work though once again, but it will be a corner.
I think Maldives rather, would take it till the time the ball's not coming in front of the goal, till the time India's not taking another shot. They're okay with it. It's going to be Shivani Topo with the corner this time. And whips it into the mix out there. Another opportunity for Kajol D'Souza. But Kajol fails to capitalize, and a long ranger. That was a gusty enterprise there from Vikshit Bara, going for that top corner. Had it been on target, it would have been possibly the goal of the match for me. A screaming finish. No chance did the goalkeeper stand, at least on that occasion. And so far as things stand, looks like India are now fancying their chances in different ways. 22 shots for India, 13 shots on target, and just that one shot that came from Maldives, that too in the first half. And a ball possession, an overwhelming 73%. 27% is what Maldives have managed. In fact, these are the stats that were at the end of the first half. So the second half stats are still to be updated. And more shots might just follow suit for India. India has relied heavily on these long rangers. And not just on the long rangers, they have played well amongst themselves. Another long ball. And Neha gets at the receiving end of it. Neha trying to swipe at the goal from range. Could have done better if she would have gone for that inside dodge. I know it would have been on that weak foot of hers, but then she could have always taken a chance, particularly considering the kind of display that we have seen from Aminat Liza.
Yeah, we have seen her finish from those areas before. We'll come back to that. Another opportunity perhaps. Here is Neha. This time plays the pass. And that is good. That means you've learned from your mistakes. That is something that Alex Anderson will also be looking towards. There's Neha again. Plays it through. Bit of a trip there. Hopefully Dagmar Grace is okay. Interesting to see if she gets taken off as the game progresses. Lots of options still on the bench. Mehbam Devi not tested at all today. And that is where the Indians have been so good. Wonderful ball again. Dagmar Grace might go herself. She's taking it too far now. Will take a shot. Easier save to make this time round from Aminat Liza. Here they come again. Another shot is taken. This time from Sangeeta Basford. And it is wide.
Thank you so much for attending.
Yeah, I think the attendance that was just announced, that is also pretty much on the higher side. Really good to see so many people turning up for Indian women's game. Kind of tells you about the evolving footballing scenes for the Indian women. More to look forward to for them. And I think the kind of football that we have witnessed so far from the Blue Tigresses, it's really going to be an exciting year ahead. Of course, both the teams, they aren't evenly matched in terms of ranking, but then that takes nothing away from the Indian brilliance. And Rimpa Haldar, such a brilliant run, goes for goal herself. And the angle was a bit too difficult for her, unfortunately. But what a stunning run that was through that centre field. A quick look at the goal scorers. Pyari Khaka with a hat-trick. Lindacom Soto with a quartet of goals. Neha with a brace so far. Sangeeta Basford with a goal as well. Ranjana Chanu with a brilliant long ranger. Kajol D'Souza with a brace. And Rimpa Haldar already has gotten a name on the score sheet. 14 goals in. And India still gunning for more.
Yeah, it's been very tough to keep a track of the goals. So if you had any doubts, you can see Kajol with a couple. So she's on another hat-trick. Pyari Kaka also getting a hat-trick, and let's not forget a few assists as well. That's a nice pass again from Kajol. Good run from Neha. Well, in fact, it is Rimpa, I beg your pardon. Good defensive work at the end of it all from Hanifa. Can we see another hat-trick, a triple hat-trick, a hat-trick of hat-tricks basically, if Kajol also gets one more? And as this corner is taken, a lot of the players will come into the box, look to get on to the score sheet. Vikshit Vara will take it, loops it towards the second post, it misses everybody, bounces over the top. The 10th corner of the game will result in fact, a Maldives throw. And Rohit, already asked you one question, maybe another one here. Which one of all the 14 has been your favorite goal so far?
Again, you're making it a habit, Liam, of asking those tough questions. I think I was really impressed with that goal that came in from Ranjana Chanu. It was absolutely sensational, taking that, going to her right, leaving her defenders in a bit of a undoable knot, and then letting one of those shots fly. Of course, the goalkeeper could have done better on that occasion, but again, that enterprise, it was always going to be special for me. But apart from that, I think Kajol D'Souza, that goal kind of looked like it was a poke in from very close range, but believe me, she did that on a volley. So it's not really easy to get a volley in place. A quick look at the updated stats: 68% ball possession for India, 32 for Maldives, 9 shots in the second half so far, and 7 of them on target. And Maldives, make no mistake, yes, they have gone out in search of trying to control the ball in the opposition half. Unfortunately, couldn't really make the most of things. And with every passing minute, with every additional corner to India's already B-date numbers out here, I think it's getting a lot more tougher for Maldives. Another corner floated into the mix, a header being attempted, and a shot comes off the rebound, but that was shot for the Stars. It goes out of play, resulting in a goal kick for Maldives. A same question for you, Liam, like the one you asked. Which one out of the 14 so far has been your favorite strike from the Blue Tigresses today?
Well, I think that initial pass from Sangeeta all the way to Neha in the first half, a good finish from Neha, that was one which really stands out for me. And most recently, that turn and finish from Kajol, that was also superb. That's a poor challenge. And we could see our first card. Yes, we do. For sure. An unnecessary challenge coming in from Inasha. Catching the Indian player. Don't think they will require, or the physio will be coming on. But you don't want to see tackles like those. 10 minutes remaining. Of course, it's been a frustrating game for the Maldives point of view. It's a poor one. Absolutely clatters into Toijam Chanu, who's come on recently. Gets a bit of a welcome from Inasha. Thumbs up though. Everything should be fine. So yeah, very few positives to look forward to from the Maldives side. They know that they have to pick up their socks and do it all again in a few days' time for the second FIFA International Women's Friendly between these two sides. And India, of course, will know that it's all about individually impressing the coach and cementing your spot in the team. That's so important. No matter who you're playing against, you want to have a good outing, impress the coach, and have a good relationship with your teammates. Enjoy the camp. And of course, as I said, relish the fact that you are donning the Indian jersey. Looks like we could have another stoppage. And yes, we do.
Well, before the game, Joachim Alexanderson said that we have worked on some stuff now during the last few days. So we would like to implement those changes. It comes to how the team is moving, when it comes to the technicalities, and also their roles in their positions as well. And I think, talking about movement, the Indian players, they've certainly shown that they have been extremely comfortable going forward. And more importantly, they have gone together in perfectly syncing harmony. And that has somehow left Maldives running on fumes. It's understandable that India is a far technically superior side to Maldives, but I think 14-0, that isn't just a testimony to India's tactical brilliance, but that is also a testimony to the urgency, to the growing sense of hunger that these blue tigresses are looking forward to put together. And if they are able to continue doing this, they can hope great times coming forth. All the way back to the goalkeeper. Maibam Devi has been out of action for a long, long time. India with a bit of a stutter. but then good recovery once again. And Toijam Shanu please switches it to her left. Can the Maldives eventually snatch the ball back? Yes, they do. They keep it amongst themselves, slowly and steadily knitting it forward. But India does well to intercede and drive forward again.
And here they come again down the right-hand side, looking for number 15. Now the challenges are flying in from the Maldives players. Got a bit of bite in them. Maybe they will need to show that fight in the next game. Look at that, only one shot throughout the game from Maldives. On the other hand, 32 from an Indian point of view, 22 in the first, just 10 in the second half. But the passing has been a lot quicker and crisp in this second half. Another opportunity from a corner. Shivani Topo will take it. Looking for a good delivery in again. Lots of options to choose from. Takes it short this time though. The set pieces have been different this time round. A good cross into the area, but there was no one home. And that the 12th corner eventually fizzles out. But it's all about trying different things, Rohit, especially when you've got 90 minutes and you're pretty much very much in control of the game. This is something we might see a lot more of, especially in the second game, with a few days in between to work on such things.
Yeah, absolutely, Liam. I think for both the teams, I mean, see, this match, it will have its relevance until today. But again, from tomorrow, it's going to be a preparation for a new year, for a new bout, for not just Maldives, but also India as well. And I think for Maldives, as you said, that they'll have to get all the way back to the start. Yes, they'll have to get back to their drawing boards. I think what they need to do is let bygones be bygones. They've been into jumpy borders lately. Another delivery into the box out there. There was a player at the far post. It looked like it was Neha. Yes, it was Neha, in fact. But this time failing to latch on to it and trying to steer it goal bound. You can see the young kids, they are looking forward to more of these action, more of this kind of intense international action when it comes to India. And I think India, the Indian women, has also lived up to their very high standards that is being expected of them. So yes, getting back to Maldives, they'll have to let go of the past, let go of this fixture, and at least try and fight in that second friendly fixture, which is against India. And for India, I think they will try and compound, in fact, compound the score line a lot more. Again, like India trying to get the ball into the box from the right, sets it up nicely. Another long ranger eyeing for the far post, but Maldives does well to clear the danger lines away.
A relentless stuff. Here they come again down the left this time. Neha still looking for another. Bit tired, baby. Let's not forget a lot of these players, most of them from the Indian setup, playing the Rajmata Jijabai Trophy. Been a long season for them. Some high intensity games where they were playing against each other. A bit of an injury scare here. Holding the side of the knee, which is never a good sign. From Maldives' point of view, they don't want any injuries. Of course, as you said, the second friendly being played on the 2nd of January. So they will turn a new leaf into the new year, but against the same opposition. Aruna Bagh has been good, one of the few who has stayed on the pitch. 72% possession for the Indian side, and Maldives, for the 28% that they've had, you would think that maybe they could have created a few more chances, taken a few shots at goal, but it's just been pretty disappointing for them. Two changes on the cards. Firstly, Altaf Mohammad, the number 9, and Aishata Misha Salam will also come on. It's the end of the game for Fatimat Afza. She's off
For Maldives team, jersey number 6 out,
with a
jersey
few
number 6
minutes
in,
to go, plus the
jersey number 10 out,
added time.
jersey number 9 in.
India now just going on with the flow. Of course, they'll have their eye on that 15th. They've had a bit of reticence, but the good part is that they have kept on trying. They've come forward, knocking on the doors over and over again, and they've looked really good. They've looked really solid. A bit of a mispass on that occasion. It's going to be a throw in here for Maldives. 2 minutes of regulation time, and then whatsoever 2 minutes or 3 minutes, possibly four, gets added on. But can Maldives they find a bit of consolation? They can find something, even if they get a goal out here with Maibam Devi playing a bit of a high line on that occasion. I think she's also pretty much, I mean, I won't use the word bored, but I think for her it has been more or less of a listless affair. But I think goalkeepers don't mind that when you're not being subjected to too much of pressure. I think for you, it's a good day in office. That's a confirmation of the change. Amisha Salam coming in, Fatima Tavza going out. A bit of a heavy touch. Another change, Altaf Mohammed coming in, Mariam Noura going out, Neha trying to make her way from the left. And takes the deflection, goes out of play, gonna be a throw in here for India. Taken enough quickly and slowly and steadily. Sangeeta Basfor now donning the captain's armband in the absence of Dangmei Grace. Dangmei Grace, she was wearing the captain's armband in absence of Ashalata Devi. So yes, quite a few changes just to try and test out the full strength of India's footballing, India's women's footballing radar. And I think Alexanderson, he's going to be very happy. Apologies about this entire development. Another long ball switched away towards the left out there. Neha at the receiving end of it. Neha comes in with the cross, but a lot better this time from Aminat Liza, storming out of a line and collecting the ball without any trouble whatsoever.
And you're right, Rohit, there's a plethora of talent. We've seen that. We've been fortunate enough to do comms on a lot of the Indian Women's League games and the Rajmata Jijabai Trophy, different state leagues as well. 4 minutes of added time at the end of this one. And lots of options to choose from for Joachim Alexanderson and his coaching team. And hopefully for the Indian side, they will get to play a few more of these friendlies, maybe against different opposition. And of course, prepare for the next year, 2025. And Indian football, whether it's the women's or the men's games or the grassroots level, is growing by leaps and bounds every year. So 2025, I believe, will be even bigger, even better than 2024. 4 minutes of the added time. Can Maldives get something to speak about? No, just goes out of play. So it looks like we might be settling at 14 or 15 goals, Rohit. So no chances of breaking that 18 goal record just yet.
I mean, yes, India will take it, given the fact that they have completely displayed the kind of confidence that they were looking forward to. But more than that, I think what they will be focusing on is how to keep this momentum alive, how to take the second match with something of a similar gusto. Neha now plays it to Sangeeta Basfor. Sangeeta hoping to release it for Rimpa Halda to her right. But then decent interception out there from Maldives. Sangeeta Basfor on the ball again. Referee blowing the whistle on that occasion. Looks like another Maldives player has gone down, and it is none other than Maisha Abdul Hanan. Will need a bit of treatment on that occasion, being aided by her captain, Hawa Hanifa. She hasn't been in the best of touches either. And overall, this has been a great game. A great way. We were talking about finishing 2024 on a blaze of glory, and the Indian women has in fact done a phenomenal job. That's a look at the Indian dugout. Very cool and calm out there. Joachim Alexanderson knows that he has got everything to be delighted about, but his job doesn't end here. He's got a long road forward. For this man, however, Mohammad Nizam, I think he will really have to think about how the Maldives women can actually get back in business, because truth be told, if they are unable to find a way against India even in the following game as well, it can be a real challenge. Not the best of signs, to be honest, Liam. Looks like Maisha Abdul Hannan. Yeah, she's back on her feet, and I think that is possibly the best spectacle that we can have. It's always good to see players getting back on their feet after a bit of collision or injury.
Absolutely. Don't want to see anybody down injured. And that is something that we have to applaud the Maldives players for. They have gotten up every time they've conceded a goal, every time they've gone down injured. They have gotten up, they have put in a fight. This will be a big learning curve for them as well. Yes, it'll be disappointing, but they will try to look for the positives. There's a pass through, should have been slightly better. It's these areas where they need to improve. Stitch the passes together, they are capable. Look at that, a nice 1-2. Cool little rondo around, and this is a fantastic move at the end of the game. Wonderful challenge though from Aruna Bagh, making sure that they bag the clean sheet. And now, with a bit of space for the counter, here come the Indian side. Nicely done by Rimpa Haldar. She keeps going, plays it through. Good defensive work though. A bit of resilience shown by the Maldives side, but that will be that. A superb star-studded display to end 2024 on a high, as the Indian side brush aside Maldives by 14 goals to nil. Parisaza with 3, Linda Com with 4, Neha with a couple, Sangeeta, Ranjana and Rimpa with 1 each, and Kajol D'Souza with a brace. Fantastic display from the Indian side, and they will have to do it all again in a few days' time on the 2nd of January 2025. So we finish off this 2024 with a goal fest indeed, and as always we see in the women's game, the teams will greet each other after the match. And Rohit, what a fine spectacle we have witnessed today from this Indian side.
Ladies and
I think
gentlemen,
Liam, fine's going to be an understatement.
the players
It was a
of the
super
night.
fine display. The Indian
Player
women
of the night
really
is jersey number
made the
9
most
S.
out of
Linda
this
Kong
game.
from Team India.
And as you can hear the announcements, looks like it has been Linda Comserto who has been awarded the player of the match for those 4 goals that she scored. But it isn't just Linda Comserto who asserted the Indian domination upon their counterparts. I think it has been a combined display. It has been a collective display of
Ladies and
brilliance. But then
gentlemen,
you always got to
we
pick up
thank you for your attendance
someone
this evening and
who's
hope
kind of
you
eclipsed
enjoyed
the
the
others.
match as much as we did. The next match
And a quick
to be
look
played here
at the
is
highlights,
Maldives
how it all
and
started
India
for the Indian
on
women.
2nd
It was
of
Pyari
Jan
Khaka with a
2024.
stunning finish,
Hope to see you
hammering the
again
ball into
and
the
good
back of the
night.
net, eventually propelling India up front in this crucial fixture. Then a great save, to be honest, by the Maldives goalkeeper. But then, not for long, could Maldives keep India at bay, as Pyari Khaka and the one and only Linda Concerto, they doubled up and amplified the attacks. There was a lovely corner and a sensational header as well, hammered away into the back of the net. And then Neha getting slightly fortunate, as Lisa has failed to collect the ball, and then Linda Concerto on a one-on-one situation, finding the back of the net with calm composure and precision. Pyari Kaka setting up Linda Com once again, and she made no mistake as she drove it straight through the heart of the goal. Stunning finishes, and then Neha hammering another for herself.
And then in the second half, the Indian side kept going. A great touch there from Linda Com, getting an assist to add to those goals as well. A fantastic finish from Sangeeta, who continues her scoring run. She scored against Nepal in the SAF Championships as well. Another assist from Pyari Kaka straight into the path of Linda Com, who wasn't going to miss from there, as we've said many times before. Her fourth. And Then probably the best strike of the game, Ranjana Chanu, with a wonderful finish from outside the area. And then another cross coming in, nicely finished by the likes of Kajal D'Souza, who came on and made her presence felt, of course. This was a tidy little finish from Rimpa Haldar, the youngsters, the substitutes getting in on the act as well. Look at that for a turn. Superb stuff from the likes of Kajal D'Souza. Dangmai Grace with another assist, even though she didn't score. And as we take a look at the stats, 14-0 to India. Possession 76%, 32 shots, 20 on target, 7 saves from Aminat Liza, who did pretty well. Only 24% possession from the Maldives and 1 shot on target. 3 fouls from them, 1 yellow card resulting from those. 12 corners for India and 1 foul. And no saves for Maibam Devi, but the defense with a well-earned clean sheet. So as we ride into the sunset in 2024 from an Indian football point of view in the women's game, it is India who smash 14 past the Maldives and bring in a happy new year indeed. From my co-commentator Rohit Ganguly and myself, Liam Bain, thank you so much for watching and join us again in 2025.